welcome to Duckstone Sports, and this week I'm giving you my preview of Week 1 of the NFL season, and it should be good because I love the NFL. And Week 1 Skymakers really made some good matchups this week, as a lot of interesting games, a lot of rematches from last year's playoffs, and a lot of games matches we could see down the line, either later in the season or even in the playoffs. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because it's only Week 1. And let's start with the first game of the week, as the Dallas Cowboys go down to the New York Giants to take on the Giants. Should be interesting. This one's opening up the season this Wednesday on prime time on NBC. And for Dallas, this is a huge game for you because, honestly, the last game of the season last year, if you beat the Giants, you're in the playoffs. Giants aren't. Who knows what could have happened? Maybe Dallas could have won the Super Bowl last year. I doubt it, but maybe Dallas could have won that Super Bowl. Who knows? But this is a huge game. I mean, you have so many players that are just at the end of the line, like Tony Romo and Jason Witten and others. And honestly, this might be the last season you really have a shot at the Super Bowl. And if you want to make the playoffs, it starts now. It starts today. It starts in Game 1 of the season. And I think if you want to make the playoffs, I know it's only Week 1, but you got to beat the Giants. I mean, a team in your own division, Super Bowl champions, could make a real statement. And you know how Jerry Jones likes to spend money, so you really want to make a statement in Week 1. And if you don't win this game, man, it could be a long season for you because, to be honest with you, I don't really think Dallas is going to be that good this year. And they're playing Team New York Giants, who I don't think will light the league on fire by any means. I don't think they're going back to the Super Bowl, but they are a good team. And on any given Sunday, they have a chance to win, with Eli Manning becoming that guy, becoming an elite guy. And a defense who wasn't that good last year, but I think will improve with guys like Jason Pierre-Paul and OC coming back to form. I really think the Giants could be a dark horse at the Super Bowl again, and maybe win the Super Bowl again. They're not getting much respect during the season, but I do expect the Giants to still be that consistently good team as we see year in, year out in the NFC East. And I think if they start now, I think Eli Manning's just better than Tony Romo right now. Their defense, I think, will be flying. I think this team has a big chip on their shoulder right now because they're not getting the respect as usually as Super Bowl champions gets. And I just think the New York Giants leave a statement and show the NFL, oh yeah, we are the champions and we are that good. And I think they take this game, they win Week 1, and they beat the Dallas Cowboys, I think by a good touchdown. Our next matchup of the week, I think this would be a good one, as I think could be a preview of the NFC Championship game, as the San Francisco 49ers go down to Green Bay. I guess up to Green Bay, technically, because it's in the north. Up to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. If you're San Francisco, this might be bigger. No, you've been waiting for this. Ever since January, where you just screwed up in the NFC Championship game against the Giants, it was clear that game you did not have the weapons. So what you do, you go and get a future Hall of Famer, Randy Moss. You'll get Manningham. You'll get Jacobs. Guys who are just winners in this league. Know how to win this league. Have been in this league a long time. I think that was very smart because this offense, let's be honest, wasn't the greatest offense in the world. It certainly wasn't, the 2007 Patriots there. It doesn't light anybody on fire. And I think it's good because this team, to go to the next level, will need an offense. Because they got the defense. They got Patrick Willis laying it down on defense. They got a great defensive line, a good set secondary. Defense, you don't need coach-up defense because it's, and clearly, in my opinion, the best defense in the league. I think the 49ers will be the best defensive team in the league this year. It all comes on their offense because they need to score more points. If they could score more points against the Giants in the game, they would have gone to the Super Bowl, and who knows, maybe they would beat the Patriots. I think they would have a shot to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, but who knows. But they're playing a team in Green Bay who is loaded. I mean, on defense, I think would be better than they were last year. On offense, they're still going to be what they are, which is a great offense led by Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, the best player in the league. And I just think in this game, I really like the 49ers this year. I really think they have a shot at the Super Bowl, but I got to go with my team. I got to go with the Green Bay Packers, the team that I picked to win the Super Bowl. And I just think they're going to show the world that we are that good. And I think the Green Bay Packers win this game by a late field goal. I think this will be the best game of the week, and I think this is the game to watch. If you're going to watch one game this week, it will be the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers, and I believe the Green Bay Packers come away with a win in this one. Other key matchup this week, the Battle of the North, as one of the Monday Nighters this week. as you got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Baltimore, and this will be interesting because I think these are the two best teams in the AFC North this year. I really believe in Andy Dalton. I really think he's good. I don't think it's going to be a sophomore slump. I think he's got too many weapons. He's going to be really good. I think he'll have a better season than last year. I think this team will just continue to improve year in, year out. This defense, year in, year out, just gets a little better. I think Andy Dalton won't hit a slump. I think he'll go the opposite direction. I think he'll be great this year. Him and AJ Green just have some sick chemistry going right now. And I really believe those two are going to be around for a long time. And I think the Cincinnati Bengals will be in tough because they're playing a team in Baltimore who is at kind of a crossroads right now because they're not getting any younger. Ray Lewis ain't getting younger. Ed Reed ain't getting younger. That defense, nobody in that defense is really... There's a few youngsters on that defense, but all their key players are getting older, and this might be the last shot they can for the Super Bowl with this group of players. And I think Baltimore, they want to start hot. They want to start flying. I think Joe Flacco is probably tired of everybody saying how much he sucks and just wants to go there and just play. And I love Cincinnati. I think they're going the right direction, but I just think Joe Flacco will be in this game. I think Ray Lewis will be amped up. Well, when's Ray Lewis not amped up? I mean, I think when he wakes in the morning, I think he probably kicks his shit sheets open. That's how amped up he usually gets. But I believe in the Baltimore Ravens. I actually believe Joe Flacco is a good quarterback that can lead your team to Super Bowl. Maybe I'm crazy, but I like Joe Flacco, and I think Joe Flacco and the Ravens get it done this week. As I just think the Ravens are just that much better than the Bengals right now. And I believe the Baltimore Ravens beat the Cincinnati Bengals this week. I'll say this will be a classic, maybe like a late field goal by the Ravens, maybe OT. So I'll say Ravens over the Bengals in OT with a field goal. Another matchup this week, a rematch from the wild card round last year as the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. But Pittsburgh Steelers, they're not playing Tim Tebow anymore. They're playing the future Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. As, of course, Manning signed with the Broncos in the offseason. Really, I'll start with the Steelers here. Not to be a Steeler hater, because I love the Steelers. Honestly, I think the Steelers are the best organization out there right now in the NFL. People say Patriots, I say the Steelers. I mean, Mike Tomlin's the best coach in the NFL. Big Ben's the most underrated QB in the league. A defense that gets it done year in, year out. That being said, I don't think the Steelers will have a good year this year. I honestly don't think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs this year. I don't think they're going to be good this year. So let's be honest. What is their bread and butter? Their defense. Polamalu, great safety. He's going up there in age. Harrison's going up there in age. Woodley's not a spring chicken. It just seems like all their key players seem to be old on the defense. And I just think every year the defense just gets a little worse and a little worse. And I think this year they might just see the draw. You might see the drop off into being maybe going from a top defense to an all right to middle of the road defense. I think that's going to hurt them because, to be honest, for this team to win games this year, they're going to have to lean on Big Ben, Mike Wallace, Antonio Brown. And what you're not used to seeing is usually they lean on the other side on the defense to win games. Now going to lean on the other side to win games. And this offense should be a pretty good offense this year. Mike Wallace is back with the Steelers, so should be interesting how this team comes together. But I really don't like this team at all this year. I think just Baltimore's better than them, Cincinnati's better than them, and I just don't believe that they're going to be that good this year. And on the other side, you got a Denver Bronco team who has a pretty good defense to go now with a future Hall of Famer Peyton Manning and could shock some people this year. I don't think Denver's going to a Super Bowl by any estimation, but I do think they are good enough to go to the playoffs and be a good team in the playoffs, a hard team to beat in the playoffs. And I think they start out right this week, because I think Peyton Manning, going to be playing in prime time on Sunday Night Football with Al Michaels on under the big lights, as they say. I think Peyton Manning puts on the show this week, shows that he still has it. And I believe that Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this might even get out of hand. I think we might be saying beat them down halfway this one, because I think the Denver Broncos win this game by 3 scores. Okay, and the rest of the games. Okay, that's all the big matchups. Now the rest of the games. this week. I like the Chicago Bears to beat Andrew Luck and the Colts. I like the Eagles to beat down the Browns. Now, get used to it, Browns fans. That's going to be happening a lot this year. I like the Detroit Lions to beat the St. Louis Rams. I love the Houston Texans to beat the Dolphins. Dolphins might be in the worst team in the league. Atlanta, Kansas City, tough game, but I will take Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and the rest of that great offense to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I like the Minnesota Vikings over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even though with Bounty Gate, I still like the Saints to come up firing this week and beat Robert Griffin III and the Washington Redskins. I like the Buffalo Bills to beat the functional New York Jets. And this could be one of my locks of the week, actually, and probably the lock of the week. New England over Tennessee. Arizona and Seattle. I'll take Arizona. I might be the only one on planet Earth that likes John Skelton, but I think John Skelton is a very good QB. And I think Arizona beats Seattle this week. And I will take, my boy, Cam Newton to beat Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. And our last game of the week, the other Monday Nighter, I will take Phillip Rivers to get off to a good start this year as the Chargers beat the Raiders. And that is week 1 preview. Should be interesting. Of course, I'll be back next week for week 2. Should be interesting this week with a lot of interesting matchups. And of course, the game of the week, in my opinion, has to be that 49ers and Packers game because two great teams, probably the best two teams in the NFC, probably playing the NFC Championship game come January, but that's a long ways away. And we'll see how week 1 goes. Until next time, Iron Ducks saying I'm Ducks, and I know sports. Kind of.